What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Driver Focus episode here at the Race Choice Studio. I am joined by my co-host, Andrew Moeller, along with Kyle Caissie, a Race Choice sponsored legend car driver. Thank you, Kyle, for making the trip down.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we'll get into it. So I know you had a pretty solid season this year, running the legend cars all over the Northeast. Tell us a little bit about how your season went and any highlights you want to.
Yeah, I mean, this year was sort of our first year back in legend car racing. Sort of just went in for it for notes and came out with a few podiums, a lot of top fives, ran pretty well.
And I know you got to travel around a lot too. I know you kind of came to Waterford a little bit. I know you're kind of running some other tracks as well. Talk about some of the tracks you like, some of the tracks maybe you didn't like, and your experiences kind of traveling around a little bit.
Yeah, so running with the Nellcar tour, I mean, we were all over the place. I loved, my favorite track is Monadnock. The high banks there.
That's an
so
awesome
fun.
track. That's a cool track. I mean, both sides of the track are like a little bit different. You know,
Yeah.
1 and 2's got a little more banking, 3 and 4 is a little flat, but
Yeah,
it definitely seems fun.
Sick and a modified, too.
Oh, yeah.
that seems fun and modified. And then I love Waterford. It's not on the tour schedule, but whenever we have an off weekend, we like to go there. It's just fast and it's fun racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good.
So I know this is my first time meeting you formally in person, so definitely a pleasure to meet you and have you here. So I know you've ran around the Northeast for most of this season as well. I know you've said you've raced different series before Legend Cars. What did you start in, and how was Legend Cars kind of your choice to move into currently?
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I raced quarter midgets. A lot of our family friends did. Did that for a few years. I got a Bandolero. Then I made the smart decision that I wanted to go play hockey, so I quit racing for a long time. And then 2020 came around, COVID. I was sitting there. NASCAR started doing the iRacing stuff, so I started doing that. Then
Good choice.
Dad started doing it too, and then he was like, I'm going to go buy a legend car. And then in the deep end, we bought a legend car. My dad raced legend cars when he was younger, so that was just the right way to go, and we've been having fun doing it.
Were you playing hockey and racing were you racing at the same time, or?
When I was younger, I was for a little while.
Yeah.
And then it just got too much, so
Right.
I chose hockey. I had fun with that. I played at a high level for a long time.
Yep.
Graduated high school, and I sort of stopped playing and went right back to racing.
Gotcha. Yeah. No. I mean, definitely. Those are kind of it's tough. Like when you're as a kid, you kind of can bounce between playing a couple different sports and racing. But as you get to the higher levels, it's definitely tough to kind of balance that a little bit. But I know you talked about your dad. Your dad raced before you. Mine did as well. Was he a big inspiration as a kid? You kind of maybe knew he raced and definitely wanted to be like him at some point.
Yeah, I loved it as a kid. I loved going to the races. He used to race at Waterford as well. I loved being there. We had a few friends there. Their kids started racing, and instantly I wanted to race, and I wanted to be just like him.
Yeah, no, I mean, like you said, my dad also raced as well, so he was a big inspiration for me, and that's cool to hear that you had the same experience.
So you did say, you did mention you are 20 years old, so obviously a high school graduate. I know there is a lot of stuff that racers do in the off season, as well as, just extracurricular activities. What are you doing besides racing?
Right now I'm in college. I'm at Assumption University in Worcester. I'm studying criminology.
Awesome.
I'm hoping to be a state trooper in Mass when I get out. And
There you go.
We'll see how that goes.
Yep. And you've lived in Mass all your life, right?
I have.
Cool. So is there anything that, you would say to when you're racing? Is it kind of like when you're forming your schedule through the year, do you look at tracks on your schedule and say, hey, I kind of want to focus here because I do really well at these tracks, or do you see something new pop up and like, hey, Dad, or hey, to the crew, let's go try these out. I think we got a really good shot to win these too.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, Monadnock's my favorite track.
Yep.
I'm really looking forward to that one. We ran well at Star. We were leading the whole race and then had mechanical issues, so I'm looking forward to going back there. And then we're heading to Lee this year with the Nellcar Tour. I've never been there, and that's one track that I think I want to do well at.
Yeah. So talk about the Nellcar Tour a little bit. Obviously, it's a touring series for obvious reasons, going to track. Is it kind of different than racing your normal, just, hopping from track to track? Like, do you feel like you're actually in a touring series when you're running it?
I do. I mean, every weekend it's a different track, and there's a solid group of guys that we all travel, like we're there every week together. And it's fun because you race with the same people, but you're at a different location, so it's like you're trying something new every weekend.
Right.
And you also get some of those local guys in there as well, right? You know,
Yes.
you kind of get like the ringers that are kind of there every week as like the tour comes in. Yeah, no, that's definitely awesome that you kind of, you know, travel around a little bit. I always thought it was cool, like when guys kind of go and, you know, you're running against the same people, like you said, but you're kind of going to different tracks as well. So maybe one track suits you better, another guy is better at another track. So it definitely intensifies the competition,
Sure.
yeah, if I had to say.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with a lot of what Andrew's saying. You know, bouncing track to track can be tough. Obviously, you've done it throughout the most of your racing
Right.
career. You know, kind of me, I've been kind of home base on Waterford a lot, so it's nice to get out. And the previous years, even though I'm not racing, moving track to track, so definitely going to try to come out and watch and support you next year, or this year. Obviously, Race Choice will be on the car again, so that's
Yeah.
awesome to see.
I know you kind of touched on a little bit of your 2023 schedule. Talk about what you have going on this year and what we can expect to see from you.
Yeah, there's a lot of races on the NEL car schedule, so I think there's 16 or so. So
And where are those tracks? Like, what? I'm not really familiar with that no car tour. So talk about some of the tracks that are on there.
yeah, there's Lee, Monadnock, Star, Hudson, Wiscasset, Riverside. I think those are a few of the main ones. Sometimes there's a few random ones in there, White Mountain.
Yep.
So all over New Hampshire, Maine.
So a New England-based kind of
Yeah.
tour. Okay, cool.
And then, of course, we're going to be running some road course down at Thompson. Looking forward to that.
Awesome.
Fun track.
Yeah, that's a big one. I don't know how long the announcement's been out. Obviously, I saw it on Facebook this week. I don't know if it was the original announcement, but I know a lot of people are really excited about Thompson Road Course coming back for the Legend Cars.
Yeah, track seems very fast, technical, so it seems like a mix of everything that a driver would want to try.
Yeah, and it's in Connecticut too. I mean, can you
That's
go
true.
up to
It's a beautiful,
Thompson's?
beautiful area.
Got a lot of history.
Beautiful
so.
area. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So I know you're racing Legend cars now. What are you looking to do with your racing career? Are you looking to kind of stay running Legends a little bit, or maybe move up to another division at some point in your career? Talk about that a little bit.
I mean, I'm kind of older right now. I'm looking forward to doing other things in life, so racing right now is just a hobby between me and my dad. It gives us time to get out of the house, spend time together.
Yep.
When we're at the house, we work on the cars together, so it's sort of just a get away from the realities of life.
Awesome. Very good to hear.
So you have, I'm assuming, a lot of people that support you and help you. Obviously, we are proud that Race Choice is one of them. You mentioned your dad a countless number of times, so that's awesome to see you guys, you know, being great partners together, working, you know, at the shop, working at the racetrack, and being successful. Who else do you got to thank for your success of racing this far?
Yeah, obviously you guys have been great sports this year. It's been awesome working with you. You guys have been open to us. Obviously my dad, he works his butt off every week, pays the bills, and he does a good job of setting the car up for me every weekend. A lot of family friends that support the NEL Car Tour. They're awesome to us. My mom, my sister, they're very supportive of it as well.
That's awesome.
No, that's good to hear. It seems like you know, you and your family are close, and they all support you with racing as well, which is always very important, as we know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not being supportive or having support from racing, I mean, you're not going to be much successful. I
Yeah.
mean, there are guys that have been successful doing it by themselves, but success really isn't, you know, just profoundly taken up for granted, you know? So.
Yeah. So another thing I wanted to ask, you know, you're number 34. A lot of people have, you know, their number came kind of from somewhere. Is that talk about that number a little bit? Is that something you chose, or was that Dad's number?
That's a good question, Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I was younger, my dad had two cars. He had a 31 and a 34. And when I started racing
31,
quarter
that's a nice
midgets, he put the 34 on the car, and I sort of just ran with it.
Yeah.
And that's been my number through hockey, through everything. So I stuck with it all the way up till now.
No, that's cool to hear. You know, for me, I know my number was 35. My dad's was a 35 as well. So I can definitely relate with you on that point. Joe, you're the number. Which number are you, Joe? You're 10, you're 18?
Depending on the track, you know? I mean, I thought it would be more of like I register my number late. That's why I'm always switching numbers,
You
but
can
it's
always
not.
just put a
It's
little
not.
piece of blue
I
tape
know.
in between
I know.
the
Peel
zeros.
the
make it an
zeros
8.
off. I know. It's crazy.
There you go.
So.
Whatever works, right?
Yeah, and you got a really nice scheme too. I know your car's white, but like that white and that
It
red,
looks good.
it just pops.
And
so.
you know what's perfect about that is it goes great with the Race Choice logo as well. I mean,
it's
there-
like its own race
no
choice car.
no better car out there goes with the Race Choice logo than yours.
Yeah.
Didn't even have to change the colors.
Nope, perfect design.
Yeah.
Definitely good. So
And going
thank you.
back to you know racing, I think you tried Waterford for your first time this year, right?
Correct.
And you said you liked it, right?
I loved it.
and you
Yeah.
were running really well too. I know. Did you have an issue towards the end of the season there? I
Yeah.
remember some kind kind of, was there a wreck or something like that?
Yeah, I got caught up in someone
yeah.
else's stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, the finale was a
Yeah,
was a
you
wreck
were
for us.
running. You were running well, though. I
Thank you.
definitely saw that for sure. Are you excited to get back there this year at all?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There might be a lot of conflicts with it this year, but
Yep.
I'm really looking forward to get back there as much as we can. It's
Yeah.
obviously one of my favorite tracks. It's fast. People there are awesome too to us.
Yeah, no, definitely a great track. Probably one of the bigger tracks that the legend cars go to, if I had to say.
Oh,
you know.
absolutely, especially up here nowadays.
Yeah.
And obviously they are INX sanctioned,
Yep.
so
Yes.
that's cool to see. And what's also cool about Waterford with the legend cars is they run during the week. So
True.
Wednesday night. So if you have a big Nell car race coming up, I mean, you could use it. Obviously, you don't want to wreck the car, but you could use it more as a practice. How many legend cars do you have?
We have 2.
You have 2. Okay.
Yes.
So, have you ever thought about maybe running some Wednesdays this year, kind of just to build some confidence, shake down the car for your weekend shows?
We have. There's been certainly times where we set out to go there on a Wednesday night and it got
Yeah.
rained out.
Of course.
But obviously working is sort of tough in between, so getting out of work's hard to get there. But we'd love to maybe hit some Wednesday nights this summer.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I mean Waterford on Wednesday nights is definitely it's definitely cool. Like Joe said, if you're gonna have a big race coming up on the weekend, it's always good to kind of go maybe shake the car down a
Yeah.
little bit. But it's cool that kind of not a lot of tracks offer a weekly kind of show
No,
right in the
no,
middle,
not at all.
especially not really around here.
Yep.
So that's definitely cool as well. Any other sponsors that you want to shout out? Anybody you want to give thanks to here on this on the show?
You guys are actually my only sponsor. I mean, I guess I could call my dad my sponsor.
Yeah,
but
There you go.
There
That's-
You two are
My
the
dad
main
is
ones.
my sponsor too. Definitely biggest one.
Yeah, so you two are the main ones. And I want to thank you guys for all you guys do.
Yeah,
It's been
absolutely.
awesome working with you guys this year.
Definitely. So
No,
one
we're
last
happy
question.
to have you.
So I know this is going to be a really awesome race season for you. I mean, by just the looks of you talking about it, and I think you're really excited and really want to have a successful season. Towards the end of the season, this coming fall, we'd love to have you back here. What's one thing when you're sitting in this seat in a year from now or 7 months from now that you could say you hope to have accomplished from today?
There's a lot of back and forth between me and my dad on what races we're running. And obviously, I'd love to run for the NASCAR championship,
Yep.
but sometimes that just doesn't work with the way
Yep.
life goes. So I'd like to be in the top 5, top 3 maybe in that series, and a few wins.
Awesome.
That would be nice.
Who doesn't like wins?
Everybody likes to win.
Yeah.
Definitely cool.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely appreciate you coming out here and hanging out with us for the day and joining us here on our Driver Focus episode. It's been great to have you.
Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Kyle Caissie, check him out in the 2023 season. He is going to be one of those to watch, up and coming front runners for the 2023 season.
Yeah, make sure you follow Kyle over on social media. He's
Absolutely.
always supporting Race Choice. Make sure you check him out. Make sure you're following us on social medias. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more episodes like this coming out in the coming weeks. Thank you.
Sweet. Thanks,
Thank
Kyle.
you.